We don't mind people
This is
coming.
a public podcast.
Yeah, it's Engine of the Republic is correct. Our audio level's any good now? See? Car train.
Yeah.
Ready? You gonna do 3, 2, 1? Guns in? Oh, half a day.
Half a minute.
Okay, no far. 30 seconds of rambling. So, hello, my name is Mark. I bumped into Wendy here at the Dark Ages in Northern Ireland, and I found what she was doing absolutely fascinating. What I actually found really fascinating was, and her first thing was, you can follow me on Instagram, but I'll not follow you back. And I thought that was an absolute wonderful way of dealing with things. I found it's an absolute brilliant way of dealing with social media, because social media can be a nightmare at times. And I think she's doing 100% the right thing. So basically, I'll let Wendy introduce herself and tell you a wee bit about herself. So, Wendy?
Yeah, I'll take the mic.
You take the mic.
Yeah. Hi. So yes, I am Wendy, as said, and I'm a professional photographer, part-time kind of, full-time kind of. So in that way, it's a side gig, but we're semi-retired. So we live very frugally, and photography covers all our expenses, but we don't have to do it full time because we live in a van and spend no money. But
It's a wonderful way of life.
yeah. I call myself a professional fairy. Fairies don't need money.
Nobody needs money.
No.
I think the world has got greed. I don't think anybody needs money. And
That's true. You're right. You're right. There is a possible world where money doesn't exist and people still get what they need and want. Yeah, you're right. But maybe we should talk about the social media thing first. Because,
I would love to dive into your social media.
You teased that.
Your social media is class. I love the actual. We'll just go with it. The brass cojones. We'll label it that way.
Let's start there.
Yes.
So, maybe we'll start from the beginning. So at the beginning, I was on social media just like as a personal thing, and then started getting really into photography and obviously posting it there. And social media turned into a bit of a visual diary for me, and I would just spill all my innermost thoughts. And it didn't matter if, I grew or not. That was never really the point of it. And then at some point, after maybe I reached 1,000 or 2,000 followers just organically, I sat myself down and told myself that I never wanted to use social media to grow. That I would post what I want, and if I grew, so be it. There would be perks that came with that. I knew there would also be downsides, but it was never really the point for me to use it as a business strategy or to use it as something to kind of it wasn't something I needed.
Yeah.
So I do have quite a big following now, and it was not by design, as I said, but I think part of that just came with a lot of pressure, really, to continue posting and acting in a certain way and following people and engaging. And it has never been a very healthy environment in terms of giving me inspiration. There are a lot of people that find boundless inspiration on Instagram, and they form really lasting friendships and relationships from there. I've done the latter. I've found many of my best friends from Instagram, but I know them now. I don't really I have enough great friends in a way.
If you're not social media now, especially social media isn't very sociable.
Yeah.
It's not. It's a flick past somebody's memory. There's your look at this.
Do you want to? Yeah, you can step in, Carl.
So, like I say, social media to me it isn't very sociable anymore. It was. The idea behind it, I guess, was good. What Mark Zuckerberg created for Facebook, to keep college kids in touch with other college kids, was a brilliant idea. As soon as I got out to the wider public, and it's a pressure on you must do and you must act and you must.
Yeah.
And it does, to me, that would stifle a person like yourself, a creative interest. It would stifle your ambition.
Yeah.
Just watching what other people do.
Yes.
I found it really fascinating, the fact that you don't put yourself in that position.
Yeah. It's because I think like a lot of people are fine with feeling shitty.
Yeah.
Like just to put it bluntly, they're like, oh, I really hate Instagram and my reach is so bad these days, but they keep just doing what they do. Whereas the first time I was like, oh, I really hate looking at how many likes I have, I turned them off.
Yeah.
I was like, I never want to look at this again. It made me feel like shit. So I just kind of like, I'm very aware of what makes me feel not good. And then I stopped doing what makes me feel not good. So I found that consuming social media made me feel not good. Like at some point I could tell that people were tending to post things to please the algorithm, and I really didn't like seeing that. It didn't feel real anymore, so I didn't enjoy it. So I stopped like looking at people's posts. And then I never really felt, I don't like obligation either. I never felt like, oh, because somebody commented, I have to go to their posts and then I have to comment on them and then follow me. So should I follow them back? Is it rude not to? And blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Like
There's no need for that. There is no
Yeah.
need for that. Like I
Yeah.
say, what I honestly admire exactly what you're doing. You go out, you're taking a camera out, you're setting up. Like I've watched it today. I've got a wee bit of behind the scenes that hopefully you'll let me use.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
And I just found it really fascinating that you put a lot of effort. The both of you put a lot of effort into what you actually are posting out there.
Thank you. Yeah.
And the fact that you don't need people to come and hit the like button, and you're not encouraging people to, and you're not, I take it you're not posting for their algorithm, or are you still thinking of that way? Or are you just posting when you want to post, or?
I try to be very intentional in what I do. So at the point where, the not following thing came from, so a few months ago I decided I want to be pretty much social media free, but I had a dilemma because it is my main source of income.
Yeah.
Not Instagram, but photography.
Yeah.
And all my clients come from Instagram at the moment. And I know that there are ways to be a very successful photographer without using social media at all. Like there are people that do it. But because I have a really good, big platform right now, filled with quite like a lot of like-minded people that love nature, and that love, living in the wild and being very in tune with like the nature that's inside ourselves. I was like, okay, well, I don't really want to start from zero, but I don't want to be on social media. What do I do? Like, I still want to use Instagram as a business thing, but I don't want to be on social media. So that's when I unfollowed everybody, and I only go on Instagram to post and to respond to the comments on that post, and that's it. And that's only 2 days out of every 10 or so. So I'm on Instagram 20% of my days, and the rest of the time, like, it's deleted off my phone. I don't have it on my phone. I use Carl's phone to post, and so in that way I'm very intentional in that the things I do right now, some of them are for the algorithm. Like I post at what they say is the best time. Yeah. So I do that, but it doesn't necessarily affect my content because like posting at whatever time doesn't affect how I create things.
No, absolutely. Well, obviously you're not going to.
Exactly. It's just, it's not, it doesn't affect the creative process. But anything that does affect the creative process, if I feel like, oh, should I be doing more of this or that? I'm very intentional about those decisions. And because I'm not consuming, I don't really see the algorithm, right? Yeah. Like I don't see trends. So in that way, I've already removed myself from what the algorithm wants. I don't see what the algorithm wants.
You don't need trends. You mean you are setting your own trend. It doesn't matter what anybody else does. Essentially, we are everybody. No matter what we do, we set our own trends. We set our own goals. And to me, social media, like I said, isn't sociable anymore. It's become a pariah in society. People have lost the ability to articulate.
Yeah.
Nobody talks to anybody. We all walk down with our heads down. Yeah. We could all walk into the road easily if we had our mobile phone stuck to our face 24/7.
Yeah.
And it's a horrible way. And like I say, just yesterday, having 5 minutes, you could just tell, these people love it. By the way, this is Carl. Sorry.
or assistant.
Yeah, husband, assistant, and tripod, as I got told yesterday, which was quite that did amuse me. That did amuse me. But yeah, it's a horrible life that we live, and I think what you are doing is absolutely, it's just an amazing thing. The fact that you have a real passion for photography, to watch you setting shots up there was absolutely amazing. I mean, you do as a landscape photographer does. You get down on your hands and knees, you get up. You'd never put the tripod down until you know that that's the exact spot that you have.
Yeah.
And just watching you setting it up, it fascinates me how much dedication that you've put into this.
Thank you. Yeah, it's all about the details, but yeah. So to go back to Instagram and everything, I think in the end it's a tool, right? But it's a tool that kind of runs away with people. Like they kind of stop using it the way they intended it to be. And for me, like it can be a really great thing. Like as I said, I met the people, like some of the people I love most in the world through Instagram. But that is because I was very intentional with taking, like a very brief 3-second comment on a post and turning it into in-depth conversations over DM, and then meeting them in person, and then meeting them again in person, and traveling with them, and taking photos with them, and that's how they became my friends. Not because I talked to them on Instagram, but because I talked to them in real life.
Yeah, but if I don't know, I'm not sure if you've bumped into sort of many people, but if you've bumped into some people that actually do follow you, who leave comments, people tend to be social media people, and then their real life.
Yeah.
So they have this clown face, and then their real life, and they're two different people. I've found that a lot. I've bumped into a lot of people that you sort of know, if you know what I mean, you've had back and forth conversations with, and you think, well, I know a wee bit about you, and you bump into them, and it's not the same vibe that you're getting. There's just nothing coming back. I'm not lying.
It's probably quite common because I find that most people I meet on Instagram that are photographers are introverts.
Photography is a very introverted thing.
So sometimes they're extreme introverts.
Yeah.
So to meet them in person, they're kind of like all awkward because there's no divide.
I just think that's
even though
any
online, online they seem like they're like the friendliest and most outgoing person. And
because they have
so
a protection of
and they have that
being not there.
Exactly. But as soon as you get face to face, it's like.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was trying to articulate.
Yeah. And I think that's part of the problem is you think that you're connecting with people on social media, but it's just tricking your brain. Like social media is junk food for your social life.
Yeah.
Like it's empty calories. Yes, you get connection, but it's not a deep connection. And until you bring those social media connections into your real life, then they don't really serve a purpose in the end for me. So that's kind of why I made that decision. Very long-winded answer, but
It's a wonderful decision. It's a wonderful way of life, and it really is. And I, like I say, I wholly admire you. I really do. The fact that you can think, I mean, you are taking it back to basics. Although obviously you do need some sort of income. You do need some sort of income for fuel, to eat. I mean, sometimes for the niceties. I'm sure you like niceties every now and again, stay in a hotel to get away from the camper.
We don't stay in a hotel, but we do like to eat out sometimes.
Well, eating out, It's the same sort of thing, but
yeah. And we take the van to expensive places like Iceland, for example, and so travel is really our priority in terms of where we put our money. Yeah.
But trying to make a living from photography is
right
very
now
difficult. And it's not. I think the only way that we've made it work is by, I guess, two things. One is that there's a bit of you don't want to turn your hobby into a job and ruin it.
I thought like that for years. I also had to make that decision of like, should I cross this line now?
Where's the line? And where is it like for each person as well? Like,
I decided to cross it. Like I made a very intentional decision. Like I know that once I make money from it, it will change my enjoyment of it. It will shift, right? Like it's just different. A job is different than a hobby.
Oh, 100%. But as long as you can you're still able to travel to locations.
Yes.
You're still able to go get lovely photos. I mean, you don't have to be in the photo. I'm guessing you take plenty of photos where you're not in it. Because you still have that sort of interest in hobby outside of your business per se. It's very freeing. I think just the way you are living.
Thank you.
It's very freeing, and I think a lot of people could take inspiration from that.
Yeah, yeah. And I don't think that like this is not the lifestyle for anyone else, right? But everyone has their own optimal lifestyle that maybe they haven't found yet, or they haven't been brave enough to approach yet.
Yeah.
But it's out there for them. Like it might look different for everybody, but kind of optimizing your lifestyle is everyone's. It's a different path for everyone.
100%. You have to
Yeah.
pick your own lane.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
It's wonderful. Absolutely
you.
wonderful. And it's great to meet you. Honestly, it is. And like I say, by the way, this is my second time meeting this couple. We agreed yesterday that Wendy was promised me fog. And to be fair, she brought the fog.
She
Yes.
through, I think.
Yeah.
He
The
did-
deer in
yeah.
the road, maybe,
No.
but we'll
I
discuss
didn't-
later.
No, I
maybe a
didn't
footage.
promise a deer. You were like, is there
I
going to be a
think
deer?
I heard you say 7 times here, and this was your best time.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not lying, it was. But no, honestly, it's great. And look, thank you very much. Like I say, once again, thank you very much for sitting down. Like, it's just an off the cuff interview thing, and I just want to travel a bit like yourselves. Me and Charlotte are nomads. We don't like home.
No.
We
I
sleep
could
in the
tell.
car a lot.
The
Yeah.
RAV4 is where we started.
The RAV4, honestly, this here goes
Yes.
completely flat. This
Yeah,
comes
we
out, and I've got a
have
blow up
one.
mattress that goes into
This
this.
is what we did as well.
These
Yeah.
are wonderful
Covers-
for night
covers on
times.
here, yeah.
Yep, covers. Yep.
Okay, our
This
RAV4
podcast
did not have
sponsored by Toyota RAV4.
Please pay us.
This podcast would love to be sponsored by anybody. So anybody that just want to put your hand in your pocket. But look, Wendy, where can they find you? Just on Instagram, obviously. Throw yourself out there because you do need
Alright.
people, and you
Okay,
have to plug
okay.
yourself.
Okay, I'm a quiet wild. Yes.
A quiet wild, and it's honestly, it's a wonderful page. And as long as you don't want followed back, you're fine.
Yes, I shall not be doing. I don't even follow him.
I know.
I don't follow my mother-in-law.
Well, to be fair,
I think she's quite confused about that, to be fair. But
it's your mother. Well, look, I'll wrap it up here. Look, thank you very much for watching, and thank you very much for Wendy and Karen for sitting for 5 minutes and talking crap. All right, thank you. Bye.
Thanks.